It's what's called Braveheart N5. The Dundee streets, the North Bank lights, Braveheart the M5 brings the fight. Running white, running deep in his veins. Every match day carries the flames. Passion and mighty, Miller back down. Cheering for Arsenal all over town. From Highbury goes to Emirates Wall. He lives every goal, every tap, every score. Dundee grit, Scottish pride, standing tall with the gunners both sides. Chants on his lips, scarf in the air. Heart so fearless, no one can compare. Legend's watches, history knows. Bergkamp, Henry, rate his love all he goes. The Braveheart of the M5, the fans delight. In the stands he's a storm, a beacon of light. Red and white forever, no one can deny. The spirit of the M5 will never die.
Welcome to Gooner. I still can't get over that intro. It's absolutely fantastic. You're watching in the North Bank. This is the first episode, and I'm delighted to have it of Gooner to Gooner. So my guest for the very first show is the man that's on your screens more than the 10 o'clock news. It's the absolute legend, the dad of In the North Bank, my Scottish brother, Des. How are you, bro?
I'm good, mate. And that intro gets your blood pumping, so that's a cool intro, mate. I love that.
I love it. Richard's nailed it there. He knows me in a lot of things, but I've got to hand it to him. He's absolutely nailed that. So
he can pull it out the bag, can't he? Can pull it out the bag, can't he?
He certainly can. So I do love it. So Des, I'm just going to go into. I want to get your take just on a bit about KSE. To like where your head's at with them, the transfer market we've just had, a bit the progress under Arteta, and then we'll move from there, bro. So initially, the first question would be, KSE, what is your overall thought of them since coming into the club in the power struggle to this point today?
Right. Okay. To not go into a long-winded answer, I'm going to give you a decent one, but not to go into a long-winded one. The few years back when everybody was demonstrating outside the ground, KSE out, I was on that. I was with that because I just felt that they didn't understand. They didn't care about the club. They only seemed to care about whatever was going on the other side of the water. Do you know what I mean? And it felt that we were being left short when we needed it, if you get what I mean, yeah. So since Josh has taken over, my opinion has actually changed, and proof of that is definitely this last transfer window, if not the one before. Just because this transfer window, I mean, as a channel and as individuals, we were shouting out for, we need this, we need this, we need this, we need a striker. And to be quite honest, under Berta, not so much under Edu, but under Berta, we've accomplished what we needed, really. We've maybe fell short in a couple of spots, but for what Bert has brought in and Arteta have brought in this transfer window, I think you can forgive that, you know what I mean? But going back to KSE, I think under Josh, we're having a much better time as a club. What's your thoughts on it, bro?
Des, I absolutely agree with you, and I think that you've actually hit the nail on the head massively. It was where we were at. They were waiting to try and break away and do the Super League, and the protests were there. The protests were there beforehand as well, and so I've done it in like my own little segment and I had my thoughts, but I think that I'm aligned with you, Des. I'm in line with you. I couldn't agree more. The transfer market, Des.
Yeah.
This season, just specifically this season.
Okay.
Would you put that down to KSE stepping up and a mixture of having a proper established sporting director in Berta there, or do you put it down to previous seasons they don't care and therefore Edu is not to blame for the work that's came in?
Right, start with Edu. I'll start with Edu before go to the 2 points that you made. Yeah, I start with, he did what he could do, and in the end, it proved that he did his best, but it wasn't good enough, to be quite honest. Yeah, but I will say this season, right? It's a case of put your money where your mouth is, and I believe Josh has put his money where his mouth is, and it's a combination of the two. It's a combination of Josh, because I'm not regarding Stan as part of this anymore. I think it's just under Josh. You know what I mean? I think it's a combination of Josh bringing in someone like Berta, and actually there's a third point that you could throw in here. Yeah, Arteta's listening to Berta, where I don't particularly think he listened to Edu. I think it was more of a, I want what I want, try and go. Under Edu, it was more of a, I want what I want, try and go and get it. Yeah. Where I think under Berta's like, well, you can want what you want, but is it best for the club? Do you know what I mean?
I see that angle. I do see that angle, and but that's probably the difference between an established sporting director and a novice sporting director.
Yeah.
I don't want to make the show about Edu, but you just have to look at what's happening.
It's a comparison, bro. It's all it is.
Yeah.
Is a comparison, you know.
But you see what's happened at Nottingham Forest, and like, let's be honest, they've just lost a very, very good manager, a very top manager, and brought in a very poor one. And this is under Edu's kind of regime, so he's had obviously a massive part of that. So would you say then, just to round up quickly on KSE, would you say, and we can say it's Josh, because I absolutely, again, you're making some absolute brilliant valid points, Des. Would you now say that you are 100% behind Josh, where a couple of seasons ago we were possibly looking at it like we want them out?
It's that old catch-22 though, mate. You're behind someone until they make a mistake or make multiple mistakes. Do you know what I mean? Again, it comes down to what I just said. It's all what's good for the club. And at the moment, Josh seems to be good for the club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean, that makes me a bit cynical when I say you wait for someone to make a mistake. Hopefully you won't make any mistakes and we can just move on. And hopefully there's success for Arsenal at the end of it. You know?
100%. And this is coming on to the next topics. What is your take on the progress under Arteta from like 2019 when he came in until this point today, Des?
Can I just say you're asking great questions, by the way, mate. I'm enjoying this. Well, we've seen the progression, haven't we? Where he had to basically had a massive clear out. Didn't get rid of everything that he wanted to get rid of. Obviously, some players made a rod for their own back, as in Aubameyang, you know, as an example. You hear it all the time, Mark. It's a restart, it's a rebuild, it's whatever you want to call it, yeah. And the time scale doesn't bother me, to be quite honest. I think too many fans hold on to that and expect everything yesterday. And me, I'm an old boy. Yeah, I'm an old Arsenal boy. I don't mind things taking time. And again, I'm kind of going back to the bit I just said, but you'll understand what I mean. I don't mind that it takes time as long as there's success at the end of it. That doesn't mean that you haven't got a time limit. That just means that focus on what you need to do to bring success to this club that we both love and thousands and millions of people love. You know what I mean? And to be quite honest with you, I don't know if I'm preempting you here, but who's going to come in and do a better job at the moment?
100%. 100%.
Do you know what I mean? And I think you've got to be realistic. I mean, you've been a fan for a long time yourself, right? Okay, you know spring chicken at this, but even you in your time scale, of being a fan of Arsenal, can't disagree with what's happening at the moment, can you?
No, you can't. I think that's the message. Like, I'm not trying to preempt your answers.
No.
That's kind of the message that I feel that the Arsenal fans kind of need. And and what you're saying, without directly saying it, is exactly, again, aligns with me. Is if I want Arteta to go and get me an FA Cup every couple of years or a Carabao Cup, then I could understand an argument to let's get rid of him. However, I'm a believer personally, Des, and I think this is what you're saying, is once we start winning, we're going to keep winning.
Yeah.
So we'll be there to dominate. So we're building something long term rather than just pick up the odd FA Cup, Carabao Cup. Do you agree with that? Do you know?
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. But it also, I'll throw in a caveat for that as well, mate. You've got to look at the bigger picture. Don't be narrow-minded. Don't think, a Carabao Cup, FA Cup is enough, because that's how you strive. End of the day, right? I know that deep down in our hearts, right? Me and you want a Premier League or a Champions League. Yeah, that's what we strive for, right? And along the way, you have to win a Carabao Cup. You have to win an FA Cup. But the main goal of this team, right, is to win, basically. I know that's such a simplistic way of saying it, but, every game is 3 points. Every game is 3 points, And, I mean, there's been ups and downs with Arsenal. There's been, there's been the success. There's been the years where it was out in the wilderness, but all clubs go through that, don't they? But realistically, right, we have won the Premier League a few times. Yeah, we've won it, right? So we can win it, and that's what keeps us believing. Yeah. So don't get me wrong, I'd be happy with an FA Cup. I'd be happy with a Carabao Cup. I would be happy with those, but my main goal is Champions League or the league, the Premier League, mate.
So, like we heard this week, Des, you were doing the watch along for the Champions League, and we heard their manager come out and say that Arteta is one of the best managers in the world at this moment in time. And in fact, he even went on to say if Arsenal were in the La Liga, they'd win 10 in a row because they've got one of the best defences in Europe, and the La Liga teams, the best teams that win, are with the best defences. So, with that in mind, what is an acceptable trophy for you? What is, for this season in Arteta, are you accepting an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup and you think, yep, it's good? Or are you demanding more, Des?
No, do you know what? That is a great question. And I'm not trying to take the shine off the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, because they're both trophies, major trophies in their own right. Yeah. Both get you into Europe, do they not? Am I right?
No, the Carabao doesn't, but
I thought the Carabao did. I don't know. I thought it was one of the lower. I thought it was one of the lower European.
It used to. No, do you know what it used to? But they've done away with it, so it's
right. Okay.
It's only the FA Cup.
That's fair enough. I stand corrected, but it's still a cup at the end of the day, right? But because of the position that everybody's put Arteta in the respect of, this is phase 5 or 6. I don't even know what phase it is, but this is phase 5 or 6. He has to win a Premier League or a Champions League. Yeah. As I said before, I strive as a fan. I can only speak for myself. I'm probably possibly speaking for you as well. But as a fan, I want the highest accolades possible. So to me, this season, it needs to be a Premier League or a Champions League Cup to sort of like say Arsenal are back, Arsenal are here, because I think a lot of fans as well, with respect, have rode the Invincibles tailcoat for quite a long time. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's just time. It's time for a change, and it's time. I mean, the Champions League would be the best one to win because we haven't won it yet. In all honesty,
yeah.
But Premier League, it's like this, mate. They're like this: Premier League, Champions League. But an FA Cup would be good, and Carabao Cup basically is a bonus. You know what I mean? I see now, because we've won so many. I see the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup as bonuses.
We've not won the Carabao Cup, which used to be the League Cup. It's a version of the League Cup, just sponsored, obviously. We've not won that from 92. That was actually a season that we won the League Cup and also the FA Cup. It was a year I started supporting Arsenal. We had a horrible season that year. We finished 11th. But you mentioned something there, Des, and I want to touch on it. You mentioned about phases.
Yeah.
And what phase are we at? Now, I remember Paul saying that Arsenal fans think that a phase resembles a year. And he explained why it doesn't. And I actually agreed with that. If you go back to like phase one, which was changing the players and changing mentality, there was a lot in phase one. But it took probably like a good 2.5 years for him to absolutely overhaul the whole entire squad. So with that in mind, Des, do you think after the summer transfer window that we've just signed 8 players, spent hundreds of millions of pounds, do you think we're in the final stage?
No, not at all. Not at all. Like you, I don't think a phase is a year. Who said that? Who's come out and said a phase is a year? No one. The final phase for me is when we win something. That's the final phase for me. I'm not deluded or anything like that. It's just the way I see it. Because even though you look at the team now, right, and the great players we've got, and I mean, we'll probably talk about the players in a minute, but let's be honest, Liverpool have got 15 points from 5 games. They've had a lot of luck. Luck has to be on your side sometimes as well, and Liverpool have had a lot of it. No, mate, I don't even know what phase we're in. To be quite honest, if I'm honest with you, I don't care. I don't care what phase we're in. Just let the man do his job.
And let's start winning games.
Let's start winning and winning on a regular basis. You know what I mean?
At this point, Des, I just want to say, please like, subscribe. These are segments that I'm doing, and there's going to be some amazing guests on. Not as good as Des, obviously, but
you're too fun.
They're not as good as Des, but they're nearly there. They're nearly there. So this show will drop maybe once a week, and I think I'm always going to drop it around about the time of the game as well, Des, just before your watch-alongs. I think that's kind of going to be the segment, but do like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I've got a few more questions for you, Des, but
of course,
as at the very beginning, and I gave you the introduction, I said that you're on our screens more than the 10 o'clock news. Can you explain why that is and what you've got coming up personally?
It's because, mate, I'm one of the hosts of this great channel, and it is a great channel, and we're a great community, and we've got some great followers, subs. You know, they follow us everywhere. They watch everything, and I just host a lot of shows because a lot of people, when you host, it's either something you love or something you hate. And I think half of our people hate it and a few of our people like it. And I'm one of the ones who like it. So that's why you see me quite a lot. Yeah, we've got the Arsenal Man City watch along today after this great show. 15 minutes after this one, we'll be going live. Then we usually have a big Sunday show, but we're not having one today, sadly. But that'll be back on a weekly whenever it can be. I believe me and Richard are dropping a Two Old Gooners podcast on Monday.
That is freaking brilliant, guys. If you've not watched it, I was arguing with myself. It was Arsenal's top 5 goals.
It was, mate. Yeah.
And I was arguing with myself over it. Like I put Thomas at the top because there's the significance of 89. Now I started supporting Arsenal in 92 days.
Yeah.
And then by the end, I was actually kicked that goal out because I wasn't a supporter at that point, and because there was goals that I was missing out.
Different time scale as well, though, mate.
Guys, if you've not watched it, go and just
it's only a 20-minute show as well, guys. It doesn't take long to watch.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, it really gets your head going.
And do you know what? I've got to be honest, Mark. It's a really hard show to do as well because, like you said, there was so many to pick from. You know. but it had to be what was important to us, and that was what was important to me and Richard, you know.
Yeah.
But we're going to get other guests on to do it as well. It's not just going to be me and Richard. We'll get you on at some point to do it as well.
Yeah.
But the next one is going to be most famous celebrations. Now that's as hard as, to be quite honest, that's as hard as the goals. I can't be honest with you.
Yeah, there's been some crackers. There's been absolute.
We're dropping that on Monday, and then Tuesday. I don't think we've got anything on a Tuesday unless you're dropping something.
No.
Wednesday we've got the preview show for the weekend's football with a great bunch of lads. Dan, big shout out to Dan, Mr. Tom, Brian, and Richard. Obviously, great show. We have a bit of a giggle on there. You know, the predictions, we get them wrong, we get them right. It doesn't matter. Then we've got another watch along on Wednesday because I believe it's a Champions League game, possibly.
No, it's a Port Vale.
Oh, Port Vale. Sorry, yeah, sorry. Oh, the Champions League was last week. I get muddled up sometimes.
Port
Vale, that's right. And then for the rest of the week, we'll probably chuck out a few more things as well to take us to the weekend, and then we're back round to a watch along. Sorry, I forgot. Thursday is the Ladies in Red. Great show. If you want to learn about the women's football, Arsenal women's football team, get on that as well, guys. They know their stuff. You'll learn something new. I've learned loads since I've been watching it. And we are going to do more women's football watch-alongs this season whenever it doesn't clash with the men's. I mean, we were going to try and do 2 today, but they clash. But it's just the way.
I think that's nonsense that they actually clash.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous.
Never do that.
I think it's ridiculous, mate. I think it's ridiculous. But there's a big week of content, and we're going to try and keep it like that every week. So that's what it's like moving forward, mate.
That's it. It's superb, Des. Honestly, I actually put a thing out yesterday about the shows that we're currently doing. And without the flagship show of the Big Sunday show, which obviously can't be done today, it'd clash with your watch along. Yeah. I think I had you guys down for like about 6 shows a week.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
it's crazy, absolutely crazy.
So you got to get the content out there, bro. You got to get the content out there, you know.
Yeah, do you know what, Des? No, 100%. And I'm not going to steal. I've just a couple more questions for you, and I'm not going to steal away from your watch along. So, like, please don't think I'm.
Oh, that's cool. It's cool, man.
Your prediction for today?
Oh. Well, I don't think Man City are the Man City that they were, right? I can't remember what I said on the prediction. I think I said 2-1 on the prediction show. Richard writes them down. I don't. I just blurt them out. Do you know what I mean? But I think I went 2-1 Arsenal against Man City.
Do you know what I'm going for?
Go on.
5-0 Arsenal.
Oh, right. Well, no, it happened last season.
It happened last 5-1 last season, Des. But they're playing at a different Arsenal side. They've improved. They've improved. Or like they've lost De Bruyne and some key players, we've massively improved. Like if you look at our bench, just like we could have Saka out injured, Saliba out injured, Odegaard out injured, Havertz out injured, and you don't even freaking notice it.
No, that's true. That is true. That's true. The reason I went I'll break it down why I went 2-1, mate, because Haaland can always score one. That's the reason I went. Yeah.
But we've only conceded 1 goal, and it was a worldie free kick.
Oh, yeah. Bit of luck again for Liverpool, wasn't it? You know what I mean? So,
do you know what? Their luck is getting on my nerves, mate. And I'll stop. You're absolutely bang on with with that. So the final question, just before that, we shut this one down, Des.
Yeah, mate.
Your lineup for today, mate. Are you expecting changes? Or I'm sorry, I know I'm throwing evil ones at you, but
no, it's cool. No.
Are you expecting can you see like say?
Do you want to know what I'd like to see?
Yeah.
Well, obviously Raya in goal. Sorry, Brian. Raya in goal. Timber, Mascara, if Saliba's not fit. But even then, I don't know if Saliba can walk straight back into the team now, mate.
But that's the point to make it, because I don't think he can either. I think it'd be unfair on Mascara, because
I believe he's called a meeting as well to have a talk about a contract. So that's interesting. So Saliba's not fit. Mascara, obviously Big Gabby. Yeah. For me, at the moment, Calafiori keeps his place. Yeah. That doesn't mean that MLS won't come on later on, but at the moment he keeps his place.
You scored that brilliant goal that you were trying to wind me up that was a cross against Man City. So,
All right.
yeah,
I'll put the record straight. Yeah, it was a great goal. All right.
thank
It
you.
was a great
Thank
goal. Midfield. See, Mourinho's done all right, but I think Eze, I don't think he'll play Eze on the wing today. I think he'll put him in midfield. I think Martinelli starts
Okay.
after the midweek. Plus, the lad needs the time, I think. So I think the midfield's going to be Rice, Eze, and Zubamendi.
Yeah.
Norgard on the bench, and I would say Mourinho on the bench. And then up front, obviously, Madueke, because I don't think Saka's he's nowhere near ready, is he?
No.
And then obviously for me up front, the machine, Bain, Gyökeres, mate. And he will come good, this lad. I know everybody's still doubting him, but he will come good.
Do you know what? See, that's actually getting on my nerves. That people are doubting him.
Yeah.
He scored what's he scored now? Is it 4 goals?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Is it
three or four, isn't it?
Yeah. So we're not finding him. It's our fault. It's not.
Yeah, we're not.
Fault.
He's not getting fed properly. I've said this for quite a while, mate. You've got to feed the beast. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And Eze knows how to feed him. I think, in fairness, I think Saka's got to learn it. But Saka's obviously he wants to score goals as well, so I kind of understand where he's coming from. But sometimes it looks a little bit greedy. Madueke just needs to find his distance. Once Madueke finds his distance on these crosses, mate, and because if you've noticed, whenever there's an opportunity, Gyökeres is always in the right position.
Yeah. Exactly, 100%. I mean, we've been screaming out for a striker, Des, and we've got him, and it's up to us as a team to be able to feed him. And sometimes ticky-tacky football is not the way to go.
No, yeah. And sometimes we can play too much of that.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to mix up and be a bit more direct, and I think that's where you get the best out of Gyökeres. So,
can I ask you a question actually on the same sort of thing?
Can.
Do you think that we restart too many times sometimes?
Yeah, I do. And do you know what, Des? It's the one part about Arsenal that really gets on my nerves. I know it's possession based, and we're trying to keep the ball and rebuild again. And do you know what? See the Forest game. I felt that we were a lot more direct, Des, and I want to see that. Today it's a bit better because I can't see Man City doing a low block against us. I think they'll try and come and give it to us, and that suits Arsenal and we'll play. So I'm expecting a really good game today. But on these low blocks, it actually gets on my nerves, and this is why we've had this conversation with Gyökeres before. We have to be more direct for him, because if we don't, and we go back to the same play that we had kind of last season against these low blocks. I can't wait. I've ordered like this zapper of a tennis racket. I've got this fly annoying me for about 2 days, and I swear to God, honestly, I can't wait on it. Come on. Sorry, it just distracted me there. Yeah. If you get I think that we need to be a lot more direct, Des, and so. Yeah, I'll start again. Actually, irritates me, Des, and I get
it does. I must admit, it does me. You know.
Yeah, I sit in front of the TV and like, and honestly, I just want to scream at her like, Arteta, stop. And probably this would be the kind of last question, but it's in line with that, Des. Do you think Arteta has got a PTSD? I never get the spelling of this right. PTSD. Regarding like previous seasons when we've kind of fell at the final hurdle and got so close to like where we used to be really expansive, very direct. Remember, like 2 seasons ago, we're emptying stadiums at halftime. We're 5-6-0 up. We're absolutely flying, and it almost feels there's like he's pulling back from that and being a bit more conservative. And do you think it's maybe that a PTSD that he's got, regarding it, and it's like he's been haunted by these nearly things, and he's trying to be a bit more pragmatic.
I don't really know, mate, and the reason I say I don't really know is because he never lets you know anything, does he? I don't think he does let it affect him. I just think if he's got, I suppose I'm going to call it a fault. Maybe he experiments at the wrong time occasionally. You know, like if he wants to try something new, I think he does it at the wrong time, possibly. And he can be held accountable for substitutions, you know. But no, regarding the question that you asked, as a straight answer, I don't think he thinks about it. I really don't. I just think he sees every season as a new season, and we move. Do you know what I mean? And I think what shows that as well is the style of player that Arsenal are bringing in now. Yeah. So who was Mosquera before we got him?
Do you know what? I never even heard about
Exactly.
until it was on the dream transfer window, and it was Adam Keys that came in, and Adam Keys that was the first time I heard of him. And in fact, I actually put the wrong Mosquera in because there's two. I put the wrong one in, and Adam said you've got the wrong one. It's the one from, I think it was Valencia.
I think that's where it came from.
It's the one from Valencia, and I had to quickly change slide and also to get him in, and that was the first time I'd ever heard about him. And what a signing! What an absolute signing! So
you've got to look at Norgard as well, mate, because what I've noticed about Arteta, and you'll probably agree, you may not, I don't know, but he likes a mixture of youth and experience. And Norgard this season is the experience by
100%.
Zubimendi, the ghost, as I call him.
Yeah,
I mean, I knew about him. Don't get me wrong; everybody knows about Zubimendi, but I didn't know that he could do what he does for Arsenal. And he was doing it for Porto, or wherever he was. Yeah, and mate, honestly, he just appears. He's a ghost, and he'll just take the ball. He'll just take it. Yeah, and we're talking about these players totally differently now. We're more of a unit now as well. We're more of a team, more of a unit. And there'll always be individuals. I know there'll always be individuals, but these individuals have decided to come together. I mean, let me throw one more thing at you before we close this, mate, and you want to end the show, I know. But look at Martinelli, right? Confidence gone, yeah? Absolutely shot. Didn't run off to the papers, didn't run off to his agent and say, right, transfer window, I want to go, yeah? Took his, I'm going to say punishment, but you know what? I don't mean punishment. Took his punishment, sat on the bench. Champions League game. Martinelli, I need you to come on and score. 36 seconds, bang. Yeah? Team player, mate.
No, 100%. I like Martinelli. I really do like Martinelli, and it's just sometimes it's that final decision making at times that lets him down. Work ethic is phenomenal. If you're defending and Arteta wants his team to defend, and that's the whole team, then you wouldn't want a better winger in the side than Martinelli, because the guy's work rate for getting back is unbelievable. It's just his final decision making. But no, you've absolutely nailed that, Des. And do you know what? I've loved this.
Yes,
Gooner to Gooner is going to be, I think it'll be a good segment.
It will.
As I say, the rest of my guests will not be as good as you, but
I don't mind, mate. It's just, end of the day, it's chat and opinions, isn't it? It's two mates talking about the team that they love. Do you know what I mean? And thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure. I've absolutely enjoyed it. And
I've loved that.
You've asked some great questions, mate, and you got me thinking. And when you ask questions like that, you can only give honest answers, can't you?
Yeah.
So thank you.
No, you nailed it, mate. But we will have to end this because Des is live in like 15 minutes for 3.5 hours. So, so guys, please jump back on for the watch along. These guys are brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. Richard doesn't do anything he's told. He just does everything absolutely wrong. You can speak to him, 10 people can shout at him, he ignores you, and he just goes away and does his own thing during the show. Sometimes he even just leaves the camera and just walks off and doesn't
He
say
does.
anything.
I go to talk to him. Go, Rich. Oh, you've gone.
Yeah, he just gets up, walks off. Yeah, just you do whatever you want, Richard. But no, Des, this has been an absolute blast, and thanks so much. We love you, bro. The work that you're putting on.
I love this channel, mate, and everybody.
The work that you're putting in is just second to none, mate, and we love it. We absolutely love it. So I'll try and get on the watch along either pre or half time.
You know, you're always welcome, mate.
Yeah, I'll try and get on and we'll try and get the videos in as well. We need to get the videos going in as well.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so we'll get that done. We'll go and sort the chat out and get them moving in that direction. But there's absolute pleasure, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is Gooner to Gooner, one episode every week. Also, look out for hot topics. It's me on my own, 20 minutes. We're not like overdoing an hour, 2 hours. It's me on my own, just talking about the hot topics of that week. There's a couple been released so far, so do try and get involved in that. And also just subscribe, like, follow these guys. They are putting endless hours in. So thank you so much for watching. Des, you're my man. And I'll catch you on the next one, bro.
Come on, you Gooners.
Come on, you Gooners.
It's what's called Braveheart N5. Yeah, the Dundee streets, the North Bank lights, brave at the M5 brings the fight. Red and white running deep in his veins, every match day carries the flames. Passion and mighty Miller back down, cheering for Arsenal all over town. From Highbury Ghost to Emirates Wall, he lives every goal, every tap, every score. Dundee grit, Scottish pride, standing tall with the gunners by his side, chants on his lips, scarf in the air, heart so fearless no one can prepare. Legendaries watches, history knows, Bergkamp, Henry, rate his love all he goes. The brave heart of the N5, the fans delight, in the stands he's